Arco 1964 here, just a video looking at the knockout stage of the 2026 World Cup. I'll do this in order matches take place, so at GMT time, 8 o'clock tonight, in just under 2 hours time, we have a first match. That's South Africa versus one of the three co-hosts, Canada. You'd think probably one of the weaker matches in the last 32. A late-ish goal from Canada got them a 1-0 draw against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then a crushing victory 6-0 over Qatar before losing out to Switzerland 2-1. For Canada, it's a reasonable qualification, just in second place, ahead of Bosnia and Herzegovina 1 goal difference. South Africa finally making through to second phase of the World Cup, were quite close as hosts in 2010 when they lost out on goal difference. Of losing to one of the other three co-hosts, Mexico, drew 1 over Czech Republic and then beating South Korea 1-0. I'm not sure it's going to be a great game this actually in terms of its quality. Just looking at the betting, it's not going to be saying the betting a tipping thing, but South Africa 5-1, I think that's a bit overpriced. I don't think Canada all that great. So I'm surprised, I'm not right over say Canada may be in favour, especially, well, not quite home advantage as this match is taking place in the US, but it's more of an affinity from South Africa, so the base probably would, so probably I'll give it to Canada here, basically because they're more used to the conditions and South Africa are, and obviously based nearer, not all of Canada's that close to the USA. Match 2, Brazil-Japan. I certainly think this isn't one of the great Brazilian sides, only 1-1 draw against Morocco, come behind there. Fina win over Haiti, Fina win over Scotland. Now Scotland are going out yet again like world's worst boxer, never making it through to the second round. And Haiti obviously weren't good enough. Brazil probably have a kind of draw if they do beat Japan with Ivory Coast, Norway. You think they're probably good enough to win that, and then a possible match probably against England. Most likely team, even though Mexico might do something. I don't see DRC or Ecuador being good enough. Japan have a decent World Cup, had 2-2 draw against the Netherlands, equalising twice with the Netherlands. Japan with a 2-2 draw, for easy beating Tunisia and then getting a 1-1 draw against Sweden, enough to qualify them in second place. It's interesting here that actually Japan was shorter price to beat Brazil than South Africa are to beat Canada. I found that a little surprising. I think the odds might be about right on that. In Brazil's skill, I think will do enough. I think those are correct. I think South Africa's overpriced against Canada, but as I say, we don't quite understand that one. Brazil, Japan's probably white odds. Match 3, Germany versus Paraguay. Germany making through to a second phase, having lost out in the last 2 group stages of the World Cup. Start with an easy win over 7 over Curacao. Curacao getting the equaliser. Curacao playing better than the last 2 games against the Germans, but easy win there. And now this win over the Ivory Coast with a last minute winner, and we come from behind, and then losing 2-1 to Ecuador, having themselves led actually Germany for relatively late goal. Ecuador beating 2-1. Germany hold in the group. I don't like the head-to-head being brought in a 7 goal difference. I mean, it seems popular, looking at YouTube and other places like that. It shows, if you beat the other team, you're better than the other team. Well, if that's the case, and it should be qualifying, in that case, Ecuador should qualify ahead of Germany, because Ecuador beat Germany. That's not how it works. It's a group phase with 3 matches, for each team in each group. So you may say Germany's got a foot of a gas there, but you don't want to go in with a defeat in your final group game. I remember 98 when 2 teams had won their group because they couldn't be caught on 6 points, whereas Brazil lost to Norway and Nigeria lost to Paraguay. That's a defeat and sending Spain out, to one of the favourites. Because Spain hadn't really done well enough, losing Nigeria and drawing with Paraguay there. But it's not a guy confidence builder for Germany there, surely. Also, poor performance against USA, Paraguay, the 4-1 defeat. Now they beat a Turkish side, but maybe unlucky to be immediately knocked out, as I don't know the head-to-head situation, how that's been worked out. And then a draw against Australia, qualified in 3rd place, in a quite tight-ish group. Germany should be favourites. 10-1 Paraguay, I don't think it's a bad price, personally. I don't think, again, this is one of the great German teams. I don't think I've had that for a while, frankly. So I think Germany should win, but 10-1 Paraguay, I don't think it's bad odds. We have Netherlands versus Morocco. The Netherlands have a draw mentioned against Japan and crushed Sweden 5-1, and a safe enough 3-1 win over Tunisia. Morocco, said we're in Brazil's group, had a 1-1 draw Brazil, beat Scotland 1-0, and then had a battling victory over Haiti. I mean, actually been twice behind before winning 4-2. Morocco highly rated. I actually backed Morocco at very high odds 4 years ago, and unfortunately they lost to the 3rd place spell from the end. I mean, really good tournament. And I was high rated. I bet it's quite tight here with Netherlands favourites, but actually not. It's a Morocco doesn't the feature want to win in 90 minutes? Is your 90-minute odds not win the match outright? Or sometimes you hear people are confusing and saying, it's a 2-horse race in this portal betting. Yeah, it is only if it's to win the match, and not if it's to win in 90 minutes. So the betting is quite tight here. I said Netherlands maybe might just get the edge here, but I'm not certainly Morocco could easily win this one as well. The betting saying it's quite a tight game, this one. Move to Ivory Coast. Cote d'Ivoire, if you want to be posh about it, versus Norway. Ivory Coast back at the World Cup, actually had a good time of it in the past. Times of Drogba, 2006, 2010, 2014, getting through to the group stage of the World Cup, but didn't qualify for the last 2 tournaments. A couple of years had some bad draws. They had to beat Serbia and Montenegro, but had Argentina and Netherlands in their group. And next time around, they were able to beat North Korea, but had a Brazil and Portugal in their group. Over 2014, we really should have done better. It wasn't the hardest group. They beat Japan, lost to Colombia and lost to Greece. So finally they qualified, had a now victory 1-0 over Ecuador, lost to the Germans and then beat Curacao 2-0, qualifying in second place. No, back qualifying, mentioned 98, I'm pretty sure that's the last time they actually qualified knockout stage of the World Cup, easily beating Iraq, and now victory over Senegal, before being quite easy put away by France 4-1. Again, I don't think he's the two greatest teams necessarily. Harder's of course a great player for Norway, but do have a quality in depth, maybe not. Again, the betting has it quite tight, with slight odds against on Norway winning in 90 minutes. I think maybe because 7-4. I think it's slightly overpriced, but not by much. So I say the betting thing will be a close game, and I think it will be. Not the greatest teams again, but I think it'll be a tight game. Then you have France, Sweden. But in Norway's group, a safe enough wins here. 3-1 over Senegal, 3-0 Iraq, 4-1 Norway. So cruising through here. Mbappe, great player. Whether he's the greatest team player, sometimes I'm not sure. No his matches, but he's a fantastic talent. And championing Messi now is to try and get the most goals in the World Cup history, and he may overtake Messi at some point. Maybe he's still around before this time, he probably will. Sweden, I don't like how they've qualified. I don't mean through group stage, I mean the whole thing. I have no time for Nations League. I just never even watched a Nations League match in my entire life. I just find it a completely pointless competition. And Sweden got it basically for that. And when that's a World Cup qualifying thing, I don't know why they were and what the point of it really is. Got 2 points in 6 games and qualified them, I think, was atrocious, frankly. And they easy beat Tunisia, then were annihilated by the Netherlands and got a draw against Japan. Got from 4 points. 11-1. I'm not sure, even their 3-horse race, including the draw, each general should be 11-1 really in a World Cup knockout game. But France should be overwhelming favourites, so probably play with Germany in the last 16, and frankly, avoid Germany are going at minute. I think France should easily win to the quarterfinals. Then Mexico, Ecuador, that's qualifying safely, and I think interesting around, not seen any goals so far. 2-0 over South Africa, 1-0 South Korea, and 3-0 over, slightly disappointing, I think, Czech Republic. All goals come in the second half. I mentioned Ecuador here, they've lost to Ivory Coast, drew Curacao, beat Germany 2-1. I think they may be lucky to qualify, frankly, as maybe Germans may put a foot off the gas, having guaranteed winning the group already. But betting has Mexico at 5-4 to win in 90 minutes. I think that's value, personally, if you're looking at a bet there. I think Ecuador, I don't think they're that great a team. I think Mexico are a vastly superior team to Ecuador. I'm surprised Mexico aren't odds on to win in 90 minutes of that one. And England against Democratic Republic of Congo, used to be called Zaire when they qualified in 1974, played damn so better than they did there. There's some pretty awful results of them in that tournament. Not seen that many live games for once in the World Cup. I've only seen 3 in full 90 minutes. Also highlights of every game, but not actually too many live games. I actually couldn't catch England against Croatia, so I saw highlights of that one. I saw draw Ghana, beat Panama. The only other game I saw was actually Spain beating Uruguay, partly to see Uruguay knocked out. I never really ever, since a kid, been a fan of Uruguay, and there's nothing against the team. Sometimes I just didn't like the word Uruguay as a kid. I don't know why. I never really had time for Uruguay. Actually, we've got a great World Cup record for a small country, mind you. We actually, of course, see 2 goals against Croatia, despite winning 4-2. Ghana, I thought would pout to a bus. Talk to someone I know. I don't know if she's even short a game, actually, to be honest. I know another female friend, a person I know, had done. I don't know if she had. And I joked she parked the bus, and she said, well, they had to park the bus for tag and everything else, Ghana. But England should have had a way through. I was a pretty disappointing performance, and against Panama, I was able to get them 2 goals. I'm not against England looking in great form. Democratic Republic of Congo managed to get a draw against Portugal. Doesn't say much of Portugal, maybe. Lost to Colombia. Came behind against Uzbekistan with some late goals in the second half to win 3-1 and get qualification. DRC are 14-1, that's probably not right. I mean, I was saying I don't know anyone should be that priced in a sort of World Cup knockout game. But England should easily win. Whether how far England will get, we may be playing Brazil, as I said earlier on, but have to be better than we have been, frankly. Then Belgium, Senegal. Belgium's golden generation has basically gone, and the army may have underachieved, certainly did 4 years ago. And really, I think it's been a bit late, but it's a really weak World Cup group with Egypt. So, Salah can have some decent players. It went to New Zealand, and Belgium managed to come back behind to get a draw against Egypt, drew Iran, crushed New Zealand 5-1, which frankly might have won the group ahead of Egypt on goal difference. But really, I don't think Belgium are good as they have been, and I just think they're a pretty weak side at the minute. Then again, Senegal lost 3-1 to France, 3-2 to Norway, and annihilated Iraq 5-0, and basically got through the second phase on goal difference due to that game. Betting as Belgium at 6-5 to win 90 minutes. I think they deserve to be favourites. I think it's two quite weak teams, so I think Belgium probably deserve to be favourites in it. So I'm going to play the winner, whoever wins this, Belgium, Senegal, winner of the USA, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I do agree with that is a really weak section of it, I have to say. And above that you've got Portugal, Croatia, Spain, Austria, and I think I honestly could say that I could see any of those 4 teams above them those 4 teams qualifying here. Portugal, Spain, Iberian Derby probably going to take place. I haven't come to this yet. We'll see a good chance of it in the next round, and they'll play that. I can't see. I think Spain are more likely that group to get through. That group of 8 teams, and frankly, I don't see any of these 4 teams. USA, I'll come to in a minute, not too bad, but I'm thinking Spain should easily get through that part, frankly. And USA, Bosnia and Herzegovina. As of 1994, USA taking full advantage of a home advantage, I would say, and easily qualifying. I actually lost to Turkey in a final match, but already won the group. I say I don't like this set of head-to-head side of things, still a goal difference. Even I said earlier over Paraguay. I beat Australia 2-0, then lost 3-2 to Turkey, who finally turned up, and I think really have been Turkey also been a little disappointing. Bosnia and Herzegovina drew Canada, lost 4-1 to Switzerland, and then beat Qatar 3-1. Again, it's another one where I don't think either greatly up to much. Americans should be favourites. I'm looking betting it actually. I'm pretty sure we'll be favourites. And 1982 and Bosnia and Herzegovina may not be worth price. I'm not sure. Americans might be slightly overrated actually on the form so far. So maybe Bosnia and Herzegovina's got a little value there. Certainly, we could have hard the last 32 matches in the USA. And Spain, Austria. Spain start with a 0 draw against Cape Verde, or Capo Verde, you want to call it that. I'll see the major shock. I'll come to Capo Verde in a minute, okay? But I'm going to come to Cape Verde. I'll come to them in a second, and then they easily beat Saudi before 0 Spain. And then I said we won one of the Uruguay, was happy enough for that. I'm just somehow, for some reason, I never really liked Uruguay as a country. Certainly not the World Cup anyway. Austria World Cup the first time since 1998. Started beating Jordan 3-1. Lost 2-0 to Argentina, and then that very exciting recent match against Algeria when it looked like Algeria had knocked Austria out, and then suddenly found as a last minute equaliser for Austria. Certainly not the is it Bilbao farce back in '82? Can't remember which country it was actually, when West Germany and Austria basically conned Algeria out of competitions. I wonder with Algeria there coming into this again and actually playing a proper match against Austria. But Spain have too many troubles here. 4-2-1 on Austria I think is overpriced though. I don't think the gulf is that wide. I think Spain are well clear of Austria, but not I think to that extent. So it should be valued maybe in Austria. And Portugal, Croatia. Portugal starting with a 1-0 draw against DRC, and crushing Uzbekistan, and then a draw against Colombia. I mean, it's okay with those, there's nothing brilliant. We could always question about Ronaldo. I'm much more a fan of Messi and Mbappe than I'm Ronaldo. So he's a bit of a selfish player, Ronaldo. His record in international football knockout stages has not been great. He had this, and I wonder one of the worst things that could happen in Portugal is Ronaldo getting 2 goals. Because I just do wonder whether he should be playing, and that's put him in the team. And I'm not sure he's a player he was. He's not a player he was. No one would be at his age. And he's scored in 6 World Cups in a row. He's a fantastic player. No one's saying I'm not one of the greatest players of all time. I just think his attitude, it's a bit too much about himself, and I think Portugal might be better at winning the Euros, when a bit lucky of them, my view as well, when they only got through as 3rd place team in the Euros. That he went off injured early on, and I'm thinking really the opponents may want him playing rather than actually not playing. So I don't think he should be on the team, frankly. Question another legend, Lucas Modric. Again though, clearly Ronaldo's age, not player he was. He had a penalty of course away against England. Still a great player, but he's not the player he was. Of course, course, Croatia started with that 4-2 loss to England. For now, won a win over Panama, then edging Ghana 2-1. But both teams qualifying. So another one of these, I don't think either team particularly good. Croatia 4-1 to win in 90 minutes against Portugal. I think that's overpriced. I don't think Portugal that far ahead of Croatia. As I said, Spain, Austria. I think Spain got through that group before. It should be Austria, and I think will beat whoever wins between Portugal and Croatia. And Switzerland, Algeria. Switzerland had a very poor start with a last-minute Qatar equaliser, but then easily Bosnia and Herzegovina and did enough against Canada. Again, I think it's one of the weak groups. That's the problem when you got some hosts. You end up, as they have a seed, they don't play a top quality team in the first round. So Switzerland ended up with a lucky draw. The joke is Switzerland always ended up with lucky draws. And also because it's Rwanda, with Sepp Blatter was starting FIFA. I mean, good lord, come on guys, actually makes Blatter almost look legitimate. Really, FIFA not been well led at all by either of those two people. Just mentioned Algeria, lost 3-0 to Argentina, and are now win over Jordan coming from behind with a latest goal win over that thrilling match against the Austrians. It looked like Algeria had stolen it right with last F to actually move into second place. But Austria last minute goal. As again, Algeria coming third, playing Switzerland. It's one of the easiest ties you could have in the last 32. They're probably happy who they've got. Betting again, Switzerland 11-10 on with missing 90 minutes. Algeria 7-2. Again, a bit of element from Algeria, but I don't think either side are particularly good. Colombia, Ghana will face the winners. I don't think that's a particularly strong part of the draw. Argentina, really look at a group of 8 there. Argentina, Cape Verde, Australia, Egypt, Switzerland, Algeria, Colombia, Ghana. Well, Argentina just loved that start of the tournament, frankly. They should get through all those group of 8. Talking of a couple of teams there, Australia, Egypt. Australia's beat Turkey 2-0, lost 2-0 to USA. Drew 0 with Paraguay result. Just interesting. This is more sort of maybe tame result with both getting through basically on 4 points. While Egypt drew 1-0 with Belgium, beat New Zealand 3-1, drew with Rwanda 1-0. It's got them through. In my view, 2 weak teams. Egypt fractional favourites. I don't see either getting very far, even a win with this match. Who gets through will be battered by Argentina. Frankly, I would say Argentina will beat Cape Verde, I've already saying. I'll now actually come to Argentina Cape Verde now, talking about this section of the draw. So easily qualified final against Algeria, 2-0 Austria, and an easy enough win 3-1 over Jordan. Messi, I think, is still one of the great players in the world. I will not fail to avoid doing my joke of when I talk about Messi on the ball. I don't think anything looks Messi at all. It looks rather good. And then you play Cape Verde. I was always lost here. Why, if Cape Verde was seemed a shock team. I mentioned earlier on about them seems to be on one outsiders. They qualified, so after qualifying, winning with Cameroon in it. Now, Cameroon aren't maybe a team they used to be really in the 90s. I think there's better African teams challenging them now. Some have always qualified for the World Cup. But when you've been in a group with Cameroon, you're not a rank outsider. And I wasn't surprised that Cape Verde did rather well. That famous 0-0 draw against Spain, which was a great result for them. They've to 2-all Uruguay, 0 against Saudi Arabia, so 3 draws got them through. In second place, as Uruguay and Saudi Arabia on 2 points each. So one thing that I just found was a bit farcical. One, I'm not happy with I'm not a great fan of any government, I'm not a fan of the Trump government. So I'm not happy with wins have been treated. I think we're unlucky we're being here. They actually, if you look at how many points, Iran actually have a better record here than Cape Verde, because Cape Verde ended up in second place. Iran with 3 goals scored and 3 conceded. Cape Verde 2 goals, 2 conceded. Iran actually technically a better record than them. But Cape Verde, the question is, are they good enough? No. I mean, again, 20-1. I actually think that's a bit of value, actually. Obviously, it should win, but I don't think it should be a 20-1 odds on Cape Verde. But Argentina will very, very likely to win. I think we can say that safely. And I can't see Australia or Egypt putting any threat at all. And frankly, as I said earlier, Switzerland, Algeria, Colombia, Ghana. The final match is going to come with Colombia, Ghana. Colombia winning the group started by beating the new Uzbekistan team. Won for the World Cup 3-1, won against DRC and a 0 draw against Portugal. Ghana, of course, having beat Panama 1-0, had that game, a 0 draw against England before losing 2-1 to Croatia. It's no match where I'm not convinced either team particularly great. Ghana here to win in 90 minutes, Ghana 6-1. I think that's value. I don't think the gap between Colombia and Ghana is all that great.